that I call hardcore. Maybe by the end you'll think of it as a little bit of a core war, but that's what we're gonna jump into. It's about 20 minutes. I've got 4 different sections that I'm gonna lead you through. We're always gonna look to mobilize something, then stabilize it. We'll mobilize the hips, then we'll stabilize the hips, then we'll mobilize the core, which most of you guys think of it like your abs, and then we'll stabilize the core or the spine. That's our goal. We're gonna do about 5 minutes per section, so it's gonna be 20 minutes overall. All you need is a mat or a towel and your body weight. And other than that, we should be ready to roll. So I'm gonna get into it. It's Wes, it's Wednesday. Let's roll. So we're gonna start with a plank because we're gonna stabilize the hips. We're gonna mobilize the hips. And we're gonna go plank position, arms long. We're gonna take knee to elbow over to the opposite elbow, but then we're gonna sit down into pigeon and push back up to plank. We're on right now, knee to elbow, opposite side, over into pigeon and back down. Let's rock. So same side, bring it across your body, sit it down. Get even a second for a little pigeon stretch where your hips come down to the ground. You feel a little stretch to the outside of the hip, the piriformis muscle. I've been talking to a lot of people that have been doing some extra running because it's one of the things you can do outdoors right now. And if you feel like you're tight in those hip muscles on the side, this is a perfect motion to be going through. Christian Noni, good to see you, buddy. Glad you're here. Nor, this would be ideal for you, a little piriformis or hip stretch. Team, you got about 20 seconds left. Knee to elbow, swing it across, drop it down, lower down in that pigeon. Back up, switch sides, connect those structures as best you can. Knee all the way down to your elbow, all the way up, then you switch sides. You got about 10 seconds left. Across. Let's get one more on each side, one more on just that left side. Bring it across, over, and then we're back. We're taking that now from the piriformis stretch. We're gonna get a little plank abduction for some mobilization of our hips. So we're still in that plank. We're gonna take our right foot, step it over our left, and then take that right foot wide. Right foot over top of your left, right foot wide. Over and out. Over and out. It'll be approximately 30 seconds per side. You really wanna cross over so you're getting some mobilization of the hips, and then you shake it all the way wide. I might have stole that one from you, Body by Bauer, but I probably also used a lot less 4-letter words than you did when describing it. Good, guys, you got about 10 seconds left. If you wanna take it up a notch, don't touch that right foot down. Keep the shoulder just stacked right over top of the hand. Nice. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna demonstrate on the opposite angle because I want you guys to see that you're taking your foot over top and then really taking it wide if you can, keeping that foot elevated the entire time. Your shoulder stacked directly over top of your hand so your belly button gets pulled tight to your spine the entire time. What's up, Shay? Good to see you, kiddo. Hope everything in New York City is going well for you. Team, we got about 15 seconds left. Here, take it wide. Over, take it wide. Over, take it wide. Love it. Coming up, we're gonna go into our third exercise as we move our way through our first 5 minutes. Taylor, T-Bone! T-Bone in the house here. Super excited about that. Friends, we're gonna go into a fire hydrant in 3, in 2, in 1. I know that was a lot of stabilization through your wrists, so maybe take a second and just kind of roll them out each way. Get a little mobility there. We're gonna come into a fire hydrant. So we're back in the spot where our shoulder is over our hands, hip is over top of our knee. Fire hydrant, we're just gonna lift tall and back down. We're gonna lift tall and back down. Lift tall, back down. We're gonna start just by mobilizing our hip. And here's the cool thing, you're mobilizing your right hip now, but you're actually stabilizing the left hip. So you'll feel a little bit of those muscles on the outside of your hip still working here. Coming up in 6 seconds, I'm gonna ask you to add a little leg kick, keeping that outside hip muscle engaged. In 3, 2, 1, kick that leg out, and now with it wide, just lift that foot up. So a little bit of mobility, really trying to now feel a little squeeze of your oblique muscle. Your oblique muscle is everything that fills the space between your hip and your rib cage. And that right oblique should really be squeezing tight to lift that right hip up toward the ceiling as high as you possibly can. You got 15 seconds here. You're here, you're up. Nice. A little bit more mobility through those hips if you can. Take that right foot, bring it a little bit closer to the upper right corner of your mat, and then lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, nice. Now you might want to take a second and just go back into that pigeon stretch one more time, because that should have gotten a lot of engagement in the muscles in the outside of your hips. So you can just kind of lay forward, whatever angle works for you. And then let's come up out of that, and we're gonna go opposite side. So our fire hydrant starts in that quadruped position, hips over knees, take that foot wide, out the entire time. Good, just lift up. Now think about your belly button. That belly button, we want it facing straight down toward the ground. Imagine there was a flashlight on your belly button. We want that just facing straight down the entire time. It's not moving from there. What's up, Dawn? Good to see you, kiddo. Team, can we add that little leg lift? I'm gonna move to the side so I have some more space on the left side. We take that left leg long, we lift, let's go. Good, just straight up. Nice. Now, since this is about mobility in just a moment, I'm gonna ask you to take that left big toe, make it a little bit closer to the upper left corner of your mat. In 3, in 2, in 1, stay with that motion, just make that left big toe a little closer to the front of your mat. Lift up. Hi, Teresa. Good to see you, kiddo. Team, you have 15 seconds left. This is our first block when we talked about getting mobile through our hips. Block number 2 is gonna be all about getting stable through our hips. So we're gonna continue focusing on all those muscles right around your hips, your glute med and even your glute max. You got 3, you got 2, you got 1, I love it. So you got a moment here. Roll onto your back. We're gonna come into a bridge. I want you to bend your knees enough that when you reach your arms down, you can touch your heel with your fingertips. From there, lift your toes up in the air and then push your hips up toward the ceiling. What I want you to start with is just an isometric, which is a fancy word meaning don't change position. Just lift up and hold it. I know, those are hard. That's okay, Dawn. If anybody can do them, you can do them. I know you got this. All right, so you're holding the top of that bridge. In just a moment, I'm gonna have you march in place. I'll demonstrate from the side. What it's gonna look like here. You lift tall, you keep the height of your hips, you lift one leg up, then you switch legs. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So I want you to feel like you're taking all of this tension out of your low back and you're putting it on the muscles in your glutes. The way you're gonna do that, lift your toe up a little higher, drive your heel down a little bit harder. If you ever get to the spot where you're like, you know, I still am starting to feel that in my back more. I don't want you to just push down with your heel. I want you to scrape into the ground with your heel. I want you to imagine that you had mud on the back of your foot and you're literally trying to pull that heel back. You're obviously not gonna move your leg anymore, but it's gonna feel a lot more in the back of your legs. What's up, Jody? Good to see you, kiddo. Team, you look good. Last 10, just that bridge with that march. Coming up, we're gonna take it into what's called a cook bridge. It's a single leg bridge in 3, 2, 1, no transition time. We're gonna go right into it. Right knee, hug it up toward your chest. Left hip still elevated. Pull that right knee in. Drop your hips down, lift them up. Pull the hips down, and then drive them right up. Down, and tall. Nice job. Now the reason we're pulling that right knee in, if we pull one knee in, we stabilize the pelvis that much more. So now we know we're not moving the pelvis, we're just lifting the hips up and down. Team, you've got 25 seconds here. Left hamstring should be in fuego. It should be absolutely burning. Literally, buns on fire. That's what we want. With 15 seconds, I want you to start shortening up that motion just a little bit. So right now, that bridge is just a little pulse. Right knee pulls in, just a little pulse. Make it small. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Let's get a quick stretch. Left ankle on your right knee. Grab behind your right leg. Pull your knee toward your nose. Oof. And then grab onto that left knee. Pull it across your body for a little piriformis stretch. It's that diagonal stretch across your glute here. All right, bring it back in. This time, left knee up toward your chest. Cook bridge. Let's go. We drop, we drive. Nice. Now on this first exercise with this cook bridge, I want you to go as big down and as big up with the motion as you possibly can. Make it a full range of motion the entire time. If you can drop down 6 to 8 inches before you hit the ground and then lift all the way back up, that's what I want. Is the bottom foot flat? Good question. Your heel is down, your toe can lift up. Jess, look at you. You're being studious or something, like literally asking questions, raising hand in class. I love it. Your heel is down, but your toe is up. Team, I want those pulses. 3, 2, 1. Just a little pulse right here. Left knee hug, up and down just slightly. So Jess, I know you can't see it, but my right toe is off the ground the entire time. And that way I'm not pushing through the toe. We got 4, 3, 2, 1. So good. My friends, we're gonna do a little side plank exercise. So I'm gonna demonstrate by going onto the left side to start. I want you on your elbow and your knee. So join me in that side plank. Elbow is directly underneath of your shoulder. Knee is propping your hips up off the ground as high as possible. Right arm reaches up. Now what I want, right leg circles, going forward. Let's go. So this is stabilizing the hips. I know that we're moving that right leg, but what I want you feeling more than anything else is actually your left side is stabilizing the entire time. You're holding the height of the hips with that glute med strength. We're gonna reverse the direction. 3, 2, 1. Take it back right now. Toe forward, little circles going back. This is the last exercise that we have in this second block. It's all about stabilizing your hips. We got 3, we got 2, we got 1, and oh, literally a pain in the butt. So right elbow down, right knee down, left arm up, left leg long. We circle forward in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. So you guys know, I mean, you could probably just tell from my Instagram handle that I'm always interested in how can I improve runners more than anything else. And I think the best way to improve runners is make them bulletproof. And this is one of those exercises that every single runner should be doing twice a week. So this idea of core war, by the way, reverse your circle right now, go backward. This idea of core war or hardcore, like I'm calling it today. Everything from your shoulders down toward your hips. This is something you should be focusing on twice a week. I know it feels hard right now, but you got this. We got 3, we got 2, we got 1. Flip it onto your back. Now I want you to hug your knees up and in. Give yourself just a couple rolls forward and backward. Just get a little massage at your low back and then a couple rolls side to side. Just get a little tension off of your abs and off of your hips. Speaking of those abs, that's what we're gonna work coming up. I want you to take your hands behind your head. Shoot that right leg long, bring it in, and then shoot the left leg long. Bring it in, let's go. So we're getting a little bit of mobility at the beginning. Head and shoulders up off the ground. Toe is pulled toward your nose, and you're driving your heel to touch the wall out in front of you. Nice work. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to keep your back as flat as you possibly can. Push that low back into the ground as much as you possibly can. I don't want any tension on the low back or on your hip flexors. I want everything pushing into the ground. Now, as you do that, we start to add a crunch. So this is what we're gonna do. Take that right leg, make it long for a second. You're crunching toward your left knee, right? Bring it back, lower your head and shoulders, and then switch. So we're always coming up to that left knee. We just get to relax our crunch for a half second in between. Nice. Now start to add your breath to your movement just a little bit. The way I want you to do this is feel like you're breathing out through the back of your mouth. I've heard it called lion's breath before. So when you're exhaling as you come up, it's like, you're not blowing me a kiss. On hell, no kisses being blown right now. What I want you to do is feel like you're breathing through the back of your mouth. You got 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug both knees in. Let's switch legs. So left leg goes long. Right hand behind your head. Head and shoulders stay up. Let's go. So we're right back to where we started on this mobility exercise. You're peeling your entire shoulder blade up off the ground. You're alternating what leg kicks out, toe to nose. We're gonna add that crunch in 3, 2, 1. So you're hugging up toward your right knee now. Relax your crunch and then come back in, let's rock. Nice. Now for any of you that are starting to feel this in your back at all, I want you to bend your knees just a little bit more. We can make that lever arm, and yes, I am gonna go back to physics that you had in 11th grade. You can just touch here and then crunch like so. That's another really effective way to do it. It takes some tension off your hip flexors, which in the end can be a lot better for your low back. 3, 2, 1. Mia, are you right there next to Angel? Come over and hang out with us afterwards. Team, we're up into our dead bug position. Arms long, legs long, toes pulled towards your nose, head and shoulders up. Opposite arm, opposite leg drops. Here. Drop it down, lift it up. Drop it down, lift it up. Nice. Team, we always talked about doing mobility before we do stability. We are almost done with all of our mobility on our core. This is where we're starting to really mobilize the spine. Flex it forward, flex it back. We're gonna do a progression, what I think is a little bit harder of this dead bug. It's gonna be our last mobility exercise. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees to your nose again. Give a little squeeze for a second. Let your abs rest. And then take your hands behind your head. Intentionally bring your elbows in front. So what you're doing now is you're connecting one knee to one elbow while you reach the other side long, bring it in. Take it out long, bring it in. Take it long, bring it in. You can really push your head back into your hands here so you're not feeling tension in your neck. I want you to feel like you're just trying to articulate that spine, which is just a fancy word meaning close it in together, get it to touch. And that's all on the anterior side, the front side. Good. This is our last mobility exercise. It looks like we got 10 seconds left. You're here. Nice. You're out. You're in. 3, 2, 1. Nice job, team. All right, grab a little quick drink of water. We are 3 blocks of work down. We have 1 final block of work left. My friends, on our final block, we're gonna look to stabilize our spine. For my runners out there, this is how your core muscles work. When you're running and you get fatigued, you literally start to twist a lot more. We wanna prevent that, so we really wanna use those spinal muscles, those core muscles to keep our spine stable as we move our arms. Our last exercise that we're gonna move our way through is a hard plank. This is what it's gonna look like. You guys have probably all done a plank before. We're gonna do it from your elbows, but I want you to intentionally drive your heels together. So if you're watching my feet, you're not having your feet apart. Bring your heels together. The reason we're gonna squeeze those heels together is it gets your glutes to squeeze just a little bit higher. Ready, set, go. We are on right now that hard plank, just hold position. This is spinal stability. No, Teresa, I'm gonna still calling this HardCORE, not suicide core. Be nice. You're nice, I'll be nice. No, I'm kidding, right? Of course. All right, so as you're doing this, pull your elbows in toward your toes the entire time. So you're squeezing your heels in, and then drive your elbows to meet your toes. That's gonna get your abdominal muscles to light up, and for that reason, we've got less than 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips back as you take your knees wide and heels together. Give me a little child's pose. Nice. All right, team, we're gonna go back into that hard plank in just a moment, but we're gonna add a little knee tap. If that last exercise felt like the hardest thing you've ever done, then you might just stay right here. If you can, what I want you to try and do, plank position, hard plank, right? Elbows in, heels in, but then you would just drop one knee and then the other. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Nice job, nice job. If you're thinking in your mind, this is not very hard at all, then you probably had the opportunity to pull those elbows in that much more. I want you to literally feel like I've got a rug here. I want you to feel like you're taking that rug and you're trying to roll it up underneath of your body. The more pressure we put through our arms, the more we're gonna feel in our stomach. Jana, so good to see you. It was awesome watching your meditation the other night. Can't wait to do another one. Team, this is our last plank of the day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 2 final exercises. You're gonna take yourself, roll it over. You're gonna come into what's called a V-sit position. Your knees are bent approximately at 90 degrees. Heels down, toes up. Chest as tall as you can make it. Maybe even hold on to your knees to start. From there, release with your hands and lean back till you feel your stomach muscles tight. Once you're there, palms together, making a fist. Twist it around, punch it out. Twist it around, punch it out. Twist, punch. Keep it up. Good. Now I'd love to see a little bit of posture happening here. So as you bring that arm back, I want you to feel like you're squeezing the shoulder blade all the way back. Elbows are just a little bit lower than your shoulders. Hi, SV. Good to see you, mama. So you're here, abs are tight. Think about that belly button again. If there's a flashlight on it, that flashlight is just facing and shining straight ahead. We got 4, we got 3, we got 2, we got 1. I'm gonna roll it around and face you guys on this one because I want you to see the arm motion. The upper body position is that same V sit. So maybe you take a second, reassess here, but this is our last exercise and we're going for victory, baby. So we're here, back with a V for victory. Back for a V for victory. You know, it somewhat pains me, and not necessarily abdominal muscles, to be doing a V for victory because it makes me think of USC. And I gotta be honest, I don't like them. I've watched too many Rose Bowls where they've beaten Penn State, literally in person. To the point where I don't give people the option of number 2, right? I always give people the option number 1, number 3, because USC people are always this V for victory crap. It's a little challenging for me to finish this way. Hopefully you feel the same way, maybe for different reasons. Oh, Beth, you go away with that red and yellow heart, dear. You go right away. There you go. Hold strong, team. We got 10 seconds here. This is our last exercise of the day. Let those abdominal muscles burn. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So good, so good. That was it, team. We had 4 blocks. Mobilization of the hips, stabilization of the hips, mobilization of the spine, stabilization of the spine. 20 good minutes and done. I'll post this up on my Instagram story. I'll also put it on YouTube. That way it can live there forever. You can find it by going on YouTube and searching Running with Wes. And we're gonna end the way that we always do. 2 claps on 2. Ready? 1, 2. Peace out, friends.